We are. Sorry about that. So just a little fair warning. This live is going to pop in and out of existence. It's gonna, because I'm driving woods as I leave this place, and so you're gonna cut in and out a little bit. But you know, last night I went out and I had a conversation, and I'm gonna show you guys that video. I'm not gonna show it here. Because I'm so far out in the middle of nowhere that the upload possibility is just, it's so bad, so I just can't do it. Today's my first day where I'm doing no coffee, so it's only going to be a matter of a little while before I have an absolute blazing headache, and I'm going to have to go through this process of withdrawing from caffeine. It's going to be really, really hard for me because I've lived on caffeine for so long, and you know, there'll be a time I'll be able to have some caffeine again, but it's just not right now. So, you know, I'm doing the things I'm supposed to do, and I'll cut red meat next and stuff like that. But, you know, there's just going to be some things I have to do that are going to be a little bit different that I didn't want to have to do, but unfortunately that's just the way it is. What's up, you guys? So where are you guys at right now? Everybody hit the number 1 button and let me know where you guys are watching from. Just put it right there for me if you would. Pretty please, just sugar and cherries on top. And then no matter if you're watching this today, tomorrow, the next day, next week, or next year, hit the like button. Just take your finger and just hit the like button, because we forget to do it. We forget to hit the like button. It's so funny because I watch a lot of other people who create videos, and they all say this exact same thing on the internet. It's a very strange thing, but it is what it is. So yeah, you know, I've never spent Labor Day weekend in Boston. You know, I'm going to be doing a lot of work this weekend, but I'm also going to spend a little bit of time and have some fun. Just so you guys know, a little fair warning, this is going to cut in and out. So it'll cut out, but it's going to come back on the closer we get to civilization. I'm actually surprised it's still rolling right now, because I quite literally am going down deep into, like, yeah, I'm really like in the middle of nowhere. I mean, just way up in the woods up here in New Hampshire. So what's going on, Alan? How you doing, dude? What's going on? Fun. This should be a really fun thing to do. This is going to be in Boston before. I don't know what really to expect, but I'm looking forward to just seeing some different things. What's going on? How's everybody doing? What's going on, Debo? Tim, what's going on? What's going on? I'm going to see you sooner than you know. Sometimes in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'll see you, Tim. I'll see you soon. I'll see a bunch of people real soon. So it's kind of cool, man. It's kind of cool. What's going? So, you know, smack, humdinger, good idea. I mean, it's going to require every single facility that I have, but pretty good idea. Pretty good idea. And so I think over the next few months, I'm going to produce this, and it's something I can produce just based on just having the knowledge that I have in my head. And I've been thinking about doing something like this for a long time. It's probably going to cut in and out, especially right here, because I'm really in the woods. Like, I'm way off in the woods. Hit number 1 if you can still hear me. I don't know if you can or not, but I'm in the middle of freaking nowhere. I don't know if you guys can. What's going on, Playboy? Gotcha, blotch, you're caught. So listen, I'm telling you guys, the rest of this year is going to be exciting, because I'm moving into different spaces as far as my thought process goes. And, you know, does everybody remember the movie called Tombstone? Everybody see Tombstone? Hit a number 1 if you saw the movie Tombstone. Hit a number 2 if you have not hit Tombstone. Hit a number, it was Val Kilmer's absolute best role ever. Tabitha, what's going on? How you doing? The absolute best role ever, in my opinion, by Val Kilmer, and he's had a lot of great roles, clearly was when he played Doc Holliday in Tombstone. And so I'm just going to keep it down, my phone down a little bit here for a second, just as I go through some different intersections and stuff, so people don't try to figure out where my people are in the world. But so if you saw Tombstone, push a number 1. If you haven't seen Tombstone, hit a number 2. Hit number 2. So let me explain something to you. There was a point in Wyatt Earp's life, right? Every man has a journey, and you will be forgotten very soon after your journey, unless of course you do some absolutely amazing things like Wyatt Earp did. And there came a point in Wyatt Earp's career where he had a wife, he had a life, he had these things, but he decided that the way things were going in his part of the woods, in his neck of America, wasn't gonna work for him. And it got to a point where he became so laser beam focused that he was going to change the culture in his neck of the woods, that he went raw dog. He went ham. I mean, he went straight at his opposition, which were the cowboys in the movie Tombstone. If you saw the movie Tombstone, who saw the movie Tombstone? I love the movie Tombstone. Tombstone. So, and then I went to Tombstone, Arizona. But there came a point in this man's life where, and there's a particular scene, and I mentioned Val Kilmer earlier because there's a particular scene in there where Val Kilmer is talking to a couple of the other guys who have come along. Hamzi's in here. What's going on, Hamzi? Where, oh, and you guys see my website is back online. My website is back online. I've had 10 people ask me this last week, more than that. My website is back online. There's a host server called RootPal that had a bunch of problems, and we're now leaving RootPal. Obviously, we're leaving because it's the second time RootPal's made a mistake. So that's what we're doing. But my website is back online. Cope Dog, big shout out to Cope Dog. Love you, Cope Dog. Thanks for coming by. So anyway, so Wyatt Earp, he goes and he literally, in the movie, it's a Western with shootouts and stuff like that. So Wyatt Earp goes and he shoots and kills a bunch of these cowboys, and he does it in such a fashion that it leaves him exposed. And so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna, and so then Wyatt Earp goes up and he's resting. And then downstairs in the bar, Doc Holliday was talking with a couple other of the freedom fighters fighting with Wyatt Earp. And they say to him, why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? How come he's doing this? And Doc Holliday said, it's for the reckoning. And I'm doing a lot of things in my life. And this thing that Zane and I are doing is so dope, so educational. It's absolutely incredible, right? I mean, it is incredible. So educational. It's an entrepreneurial thing. There's all kinds of stuff to it. But there also is the basic principle of the way to live a life, a way to have manners according to Thomas Hobbes. I put a post in community about Thomas Hobbes when he talked about manners. And manners is a direct correlation to power. Every man and woman on earth, according to Hobbes, seeks power. And I'm going to break down Hobbes in so many different ways here coming up. But every person seeks power. And so there's this natural inclination for people who are powerful to have multiple people try to take them down because they're not as powerful individually. So now what Hobbes said is the difference between people when understanding power is manners. And for me personally, I feel like we have to embrace what Hobbes taught, that we do need a rule of law, and that when manners are broken, we go into Wyatt Earp's idea of creating a reckoning. So over the next few months, the rest of this year is going to be a very, very interesting year, because I'm going straight back to Westerns. And there's really no negotiating with me, I'm creating which, by the way, I have some, I'm not going to say anything else because I just want transparency to come out. The website, I banged away on it. It's so informative. There's so much information. There's so much information. A new system requires new philosophy. So that's mostly what I'm teaching in this website called Transparency, Peace, Justice. It hasn't come out yet. That's what I'm showing you guys. I'm showing you guys what a future would look like based on truth and justice. Could you imagine that? Where the transparency is so abundant that there's no possible way for cheating you out of your rights. And that to me is just gigantic. It is just gigantic. You know, if anybody else has done the same reading that I've done, then we can discuss the merits of Hobbes' position on power, or on Jean-Jacques Rousseau's social contract, or on John Locke's theory of natural law. But you would have first have to have done the reading to really have an educated conversation with me. And I can't wait until we jump the rails of social media and I'm able to get on bigger, you know, people on, you know, it's so funny. It's such a correlation here. So people on YouTube, they do panels to try to like boost themselves up. The people who I watch do, so last night, just so you know, I watched 100 of the most important Supreme Court cases that you need to know. And what it was a bunch of scholars sitting around talking about Supreme Court personnel. So they call them Supreme Court justices. I call them Supreme Court personnel because it's such a corrupt, defunct institution. The Supreme Court itself is so, it's just such a mess. You know, Clarence Thomas, you know, someone chimed in yesterday and said Clarence Thomas was some great, you know, Supreme Court justice. So Clarence Thomas is the worst. You know, there's very few Supreme Court justices who rank as low as Clarence Thomas on the scale. You know, Roger Taney, obviously from the Taney Court. You know, Warren Burger of the Burger Court. Of course, you have Scalia and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Terrible. You know, but people don't know anything about these people, so they think that they're good, and they're not. They weren't. So, you know, what do they say? The sun shines on a dog's butt once in a while. So once in a while, Jeff hates pigs. 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 What's going on, Alan? How you doing, Alan? What's going on, bro? What's going on? You know, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. But I think at the end of the day, yeah. So that's what's happened. You know, what's happened is, over time, the corruption of man and the quest and the thirst for power has corrupted our country absolutely. And from my perspective, you know, going back to the transparency website, the only way we're actually going to get to a country where we're based on civil rights, where we're based on civil liberties, where we're based on freedom, where we're based on having a country that works, is if we go to a transparent country, where we go to a country where we get to see the government actors, what they do, and we have a right to get the footage. You know, I keep on watching things and seeing things, and as long as we continue to have the term law enforcer, dead ends, dude. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the fluck, dude? What the fluck? I mean, what are you doing? I mean, this guy just almost drove us into it. Like, what the? I mean, you know, what's going on, Rights On Tribe? What's going on? What's going on? Anybody have any questions? I'm just kind of just talking right now because I've got a really great video coming out for you guys. It's really cool. I mean, I think it's one of the best interactions I've ever had. Tabitha, what's going on? Bruce, JMM, what's going on? What's going on? What is going on in the world today? What is going on in the world today? What's going on, Rights On? How you doing, bud? What's going on? How is the world? How are you guys doing today? How's everybody doing? What, Gloria? How are you doing, Gloria? Good to see you. What's going on? Cope Dog! I saw that Mike's site's back up. Thank you, Cope Dog. Love you. Chevy, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Detroit in the house. Joel, how you doing? Writes on. What's going on, George? What's up, Chuck on the couch? What's up, J-Barb? How you doing, dude? Debo Cruz, Scrubzilla, Zilla scrubbing. You know, I do have a headache from no caffeine, and you know, you know, this, you know, I won't be able to turn off the way that I am, but what I will be able to do is take some pretty drastic steps using nutrition and using the methods I've read about online to work on my own health, because it's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. Oops, sorry about that. Boop, 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 boop. What's going on, Chuck? How you doing, dude? What's going on, Chuck? What is going on? What is going on? It just, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, I guess it is what it is. You know, you as a person have to work on who you are at all times. So what are you doing?
Squirrel.
I saw the squirrel. You're gonna run him over or miss him?
I went to miss him.
He was gonna run on the street. He was gonna run on the street. He was gonna run out on the street. Yeah, there's just a couple things that are gonna slightly change. Yeah, my website's back up. What's up, Playboy? What's up, Hamzi? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm doing pretty good. Love you too, Jeff Hates Pigs. Love you too, man. Listen, you know, listen to me. I'm gonna stay focused on our mission. This channel here, DeletelawZ, is about changing the system. This channel is about what we do to change this system. And that's all this channel is going to focus on. And that's all I'm going to talk about here. So I want to make sure that we as a group stay as focused as we can on ensuring that we know what we need to focus on. We need a constitutional amendment that we all get the footage from the government. That kills Big Brother. We need to get rid of law enforcers in America. Law enforcers don't work. We need to get rid of rankings. Rankings in peace officers creates a hierarchy of power. And that hierarchy of power creates absolute power for the highest ranking individuals and even the lowest ranking individuals. We have to get rid of all rankings in policing. You need to never call these guys by their rank. Absolutely never. Don't ever call them sergeant, lieutenant, captain. Don't ever. The rankings are what ruin everything. They absolutely ruin everything, because then the man or woman who signed up to be a peace officer, then their allegiance is to the person above them, the sergeant, the corporal, the captain, the lieutenant, the major. The rankings are the worst thing about the whole peace officers apparatus. So listen, you're going to hear me always reference them as peace officers because they sign a peace officers agreement. There's no law enforcers unless the DEA has new law enforcer agreements that they sign. But from my understanding, and anybody can correct me if you'd like, the only thing that men and women who sign up to work as a public servant sign in agreement is an oath to uphold the Constitution as a peace officer. So I'm always going to refer to them as peace officers, because we don't have to break the system completely. We just have to change the system as it is now. And the second thing, constitutional amendment, that we get the camera footage from any government agency. Second thing, get rid of the term law enforcers. Go back to peace officers. We don't want law enforcers, and this will start to chip away at the war on drugs. The third thing, get rid of all rankings. All rankings have to go. All rankings have to go. They have to go. It's the worst thing. It's the worst. So I'm just saying out loud that we need to accomplish. We have to overturn Terry versus Ohio. I mean, it's so, I mean, and then we have to decentralize. But Terry versus Ohio is apart from those big four, which is decentralization, get rid of rankings, get rid of the term law enforcers, and get a constitutional amendment that we get the camera footage. Those four things, and then down the list of the things we want to accomplish. But the philosophy of how we need to be treated in America is as people who are here to defend our rights and uphold our liberties. And with the term law enforcers, it'll never be that way. And so we need to focus on that. Then, of course, as you go down the list, we got to get cameras in the courtrooms and audio recording in the courtrooms. The court should not be charging us $2,000 for transcripts. That is absolutely preposterous, ludicrous. And these are the things we need to focus on. We need cameras and audio in every courtroom in America. That's why I'm so happy some of these auditors and activists who are pushing the envelope inside of courthouses where they're being arrested for filming inside of courthouses or social security offices. Perfect. Those are the cases we need to push all the way up to the horrifically bad Supreme Court. And I'll tell you what though, if they hold against us and they strip our liberties, then they call for the revolution, because that's what John Locke said. John Locke said, if the government upholds tyranny, then it's your duty to revolt. So if we get these cases to the Supreme Court and they deny our right to have camera in the courtroom, then that's our time to revolt. And we absolutely should revolt. 100%. We should sit in the street. We should assemble and petition Congress and petition the president to override the Supreme Court. We got to get there though. We have to focus on the things that we're focused on. That's what this channel is about. That's what this channel will remain to be about. And that's what I'm going to stay focused on. But I'll tell you what, the more and more I learn, you could ask Zane, I sit and I just learn constantly. I just sit and I just learn. I just read my laptop, I watch videos, I read my phone, and I just sit and learn all day long. That's what I do. And yeah, that's 100% true. And the more I learn, the more powerful I become in the legal field. And eventually I'll get through the processes to pass the California State Bar, and I'll do the things I have to do. But every day that I learn more legal procedures, I become more and more powerful. And I told you I wasn't going to tolerate the culture in my community. And I meant it. And I meant it. You don't mess with the bull or you get the horns. It's just that simple. You mess with somebody who just loves to research law, loves to know law, loves to know how to do things. If you mess with that person, they will come after you legally. And by this time next year, just so you guys know, in my circles, by this time next year, we have a stated, simple goal, and that is the reckoning. That's the reckoning. And you'll know what that means in 1 year. You guys will know what that means in 1 year. Semper Fi, my friend, Semper Fi. So it's just, you know, and that didn't get my blood pressure up. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. This sucks, no coffee. I'll tell you that. This sucks. This absolutely sucks. I absolutely love my coffee, and I have a headache. I got a headache. You know, about it. No, I know, I'm good. I'm good. It is what it is, you know? And so it's like, you know, I said I wasn't kidding when I said everyone I ask for help says there's nothing that can be done. Well, Brian, you have to pull your camera out the first thing. So Brian Klein said, hey, Delete Lawz, I watched the video of the Border Patrol. You showed me any suggestions when I'm pulled over. I wasn't kidding when I said everyone I asked says there's nothing that can be done. Absolutely, man. You pull your camera out first and foremost, and then you pull your trifold out and you plead the Fifth Amendment. There's a video that I show people how to use the trifold, and it worked like a charm for me, but I want to fight. So I went back to fight, and the guy gave me a ticket anyway. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. I didn't back down from that cop. I got a ticket for it. Now, he would have given me a ticket either way because he was just out there revenue collecting with his speed gun at 7 o'clock in the morning in the middle of nowhere in the desert. So he was going to give me a ticket either way. You should always pull your phone out and start filming, and then use your trifold. Use the trifold. The bottom part where it says Fifth Amendment, show him that. Someone can post the link to that video. Someone can post the link to that video. That that shows how to use the trifold exactly. You know, and that trifold video, listen, this, just so you guys know, I know that I got out of the car and I went and I talked to the cop and I was like, I just read him the riot act for radar gunning people, and they reduced the ticket from 20 miles an hour to 10 miles an hour over. Gosh, thank you so much. But the point is that I used the trifold brilliantly because he continued to pester me with questions. But when you use the trifold the right way and you show them that it's your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, that's the best way to do it, Brian. That is the best way to do it. And then if you're gonna get a ticket, you're gonna get a ticket. But that stops the back and forth of, I smell marijuana, or have you been drinking, where are you heading today? You're just not answering a single question. That's the best way to do it. Use the trifold and do not answer a single question. Not a single one. So that's just where I'm at. That's just, that I mean, and that's what you should do. You should always do that. We live right off the 8 on the border, patrol every day and search. The scary thing is I'm with the wife in the mid-desert and no one's around us. Yeah, it's on my website, DeletelawZ, and you just remain silent every time, Brian. Someone posted the website for DeletelawZ.com for Brian Klein. Brian, when you interact with cops, you know, if you're not me and you're not gonna try to fight back against the system, and you just want to get through a stop without having to break yourself or tell the cop, oh, I'm going this way, or I'm going over to Tulane, or I'm heading over to Kentucky. If you don't want to answer questions, then you immediately invoke the trifold. Does anybody remember that video? It's a couple back. But the trifold worked like a charm. He didn't continue. He tried to ask me where I was going, tried to ask me which way I was going. He tried to ask, dude, you have, no, come on, man, come on. I mean, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Can you take it easy? I don't drive like this. I just don't. So please, you know, get into as we head over to Massachusetts from New Hampshire. Man, I'll tell you what. You know, we had a dinner last night that was, what was that? I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but we went to this place last night for dinner over here. I can't remember. I cannot remember. Maybe I'll put it down there in the comments. But it was absolutely incredible. It was absolutely no. Okay. Anyway, listen. I'm gonna jump, you guys. I'm gonna get into Massachusetts, and I'll let you guys know when I get all set up in Mass, and then it should be a pretty nice Labor Day weekend. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna film some cops and stuff and get some footage, and it should be a pretty good time. You know, I mean. Boston in general, I haven't spent a lot of time, especially the part of Boston that we're going to. So I haven't spent a lot of time down there. So I'm going to spend some time just kind of walking around and checking out the place and really getting the lay of the land and seeing what it's like over there, you know. So I'm really looking forward to it, you know, really looking forward to it. So before this cuts in and out 50,000 times, then I'm just going to jump. And listen, I will see you guys on the next one. I'm going to sit here right now and edit together this video that I made last night that is absolutely stupendous. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I cannot wait. So I'm gonna go. Anyway, you guys, website is back online. Hey Brian, thanks dude, I appreciate it, man. Hey Brian, did anybody post that video for Brian? Did anybody post that video for Brian that shows him the trifold usage? You know, Brian, just drop your comment, put your name in the subject in the comments. I'm trying not to read comments very much, but it's impossible not to read comments and interact with people because I'm a human being. And I want to interact with people. So hey Chuck, you're gonna be stoked, and I'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you guys on what's going on. We don't stop. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gator.